Everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to A Pilot's Life as I continue to work through my Canadian North contract. So we've got, I think, 4 flights left before we fulfill our contract obligation and then potentially can look for something a little warmer. So we're continuing to kind of fly the same legs out of Calgary. So we're going from Calgary to Fort McKay this time. So we'll be heading there. Again, pretty small airport, but again, weather shouldn't be too bad. It's early September. We're going to go ahead and try some things here. So let's get into the sim. So I'm going ahead. I do not recall, I don't think I had this add-on when
turnaround flight detected.
Last time I went ahead and used this. So I've got something called Flight Simulator First Officer to utilize with this aircraft. So it simulates me having a first officer in the seat. We're going to have to go ahead. I know we need to get data from SimBrief, so we'll get that. But we're going to go ahead and...
Ready for the turnaround flow, Captain?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead.
Ready to start programming the FMC?
So we're going to go ahead. We should be good.
Alright, I'll start loading the route.
Alright, so this is like the most likely thing to have a problem. So we'll see. Looks like it came up for him. He's got it. You can see they're loading this. But again, we are simulating being a pilot here for Canadian North. So A Pilot's Life, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a career mod that does exactly that. So, you know, I'm always taking a look at different things here and there. I see Just Flight has got some new thing that kind of adds like Sims, you know, doing your life thing with it. Doesn't seem to make sense. I poked around a little bit with Air Hauler 2. That may or may not make it into something. I mean, I think it will, but it's similar to NeoFly. So, like, again, I'm worried I'm going to have too many flight sim type things going on. But yeah, the biggest thing with this is just not kind of going ahead and hitting any buttons.
Program, except for the SIDS and stars.
All right, so it can't do the SIDS and stars. So let's see. Whoops. I'm gonna go here. So he'll do the walk around while we're doing that. I need to get things into Navigraph here. So haven't done that yet. So let's see. All right. Yeah, I think we'll not worry about the departures. And then again, approach-wise, there's just some really interesting... because, yeah, the thing is, like, if I cancel that, like, it's basically got me there. So let's see. I just do runway 39 RNAV final. That will work. All right, so that is what we need. All right, so we're on 35 right. We're not doing any specific departure. So we're just going to execute that, and then arrival. We're going to do runway 31. And so we're doing the RNAV. And again, no specific transition. So it's just that. This should then give us what we need. Not seeing any discontinuities, so I think we're okay. So yeah, Avram is my first point, 21 nautical miles out. So that is good. And at this point then, other than getting our clearance, we should be all set. So let me make sure we're good there. Clearance is 120.8. Sorry, so let's get that in the box. At least we'll be close here, which is nice. Sometimes I feel like I'm turning these knobs forever. Calgary clearance. Arctic 1400, requesting IFR to Fort McKay. So it's still spinning away here. So it's being very, very slow. Hopefully it's working. If not, we'll proceed without it. We don't need that. Alright, well, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get him to continue here.
Walk around completed.
Alright, so he's going to come in. We'll kind of zoom out. But now he should be loading the performance data. Oh, he's not. So somehow, again, so alright, let's see. Go back here. Home. I go.
Ready for the turnaround flow, Captain? Ready to start programming the FMC?
Right, let's see
Alright, I'll
if
start
that
loading the route.
gets anything back. It probably won't. Because, yeah, the challenge I have is sometimes it gets messed up on the performance. And I don't understand why, because I didn't hit any of his keys. So, alright, so let me go here. Alright, we'll just do the performance request. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll let him skip, and because the route is loaded, so.
Would you mind checking the SIDS and stars?
Alright, so we've got
Heading
that.
out for the walk around.
And now we'll see, like it may work, it may not. Let's see
Walk
what
around
happens.
completed.
Alright, so it's going back. And so yeah, now it looks like it will, and so it might make some changes around, just so you can see it changed the reserves. So yeah, it's just interesting how sometimes it doesn't go back, because it looks like it resets to the menu, but yeah, it's doing the winds, none of that is different. But it's entering the temperature. It'll get the flaps in and all that stuff, but alright. So I think we're good. I don't know what's happening with say intentions. I'm gonna hit a new flight because I think it's just messed up. So we'll see if we can get it to come alive here. It's doing the wind request. Let me see, am I reset here? No, we're good. So about 8 seconds. So there's a delay in the flight simulator first officer to kind of allow your system to actually do things. So you can see it's uploaded. He's gonna execute them now. Now it's going to go work on nav data. So it's doing the pressures up there. You can see he's flipping some switches, getting all of our lights configured, getting the MCP set up. So again, that's our cruise. Wow. Yeah, there is just something going on.
Oxygen. Tested. Navigation, transfer, and display switches. Normal and auto. Window heat. Window heat.
Alright, so hold on. We need to... Whoops. So we're going to get all these set. I don't know why he didn't do those, but...
Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments. Set. Parking brake.
Let's see, what have we got? Parking brake. We need that.
On. Fuel control switches. Cutoff. Departure briefing. It will be a left seat takeoff from Charlie, Yankee, Charlie, 2. Charlie, Alpha, Lima, 4. Taxi route is per ATC instructions. We'll be departing on runway 35, right. Climbing via the departure procedures to an initial altitude of 39,000 feet. Standard reject and emergency procedures apply. Any questions? I'm good.
Alright, so I misread the clearance. It's 120.825, so that would be why. Calgary clearance, Arctic 1400, requesting IFR to Fort McKay. So let's see if this works better.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
You'd think it would have come back, given me a little bit of a problem. But yeah, so it's waiting for passengers.
Arctic 1400 cleared to Fort McKay, Albion. Radar vectors Avram, then as filed. Climb 7,000. Departure on 125.9. Squawk 3523. And your departure runway was changed to 11.
Radar vectors Avram, then as filed. Climb 7,000. Departure on 125.9er. Squawk 3523. Departure runway changed to 11. Arctic 1400. Alright, so we're going to want to get this dialed in.
Arctic 1400, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er when ready.
Alright. So we'll get ourselves... Try to get ourselves set here. It is so touchy sometimes. But anyway, alright. So... Waiting for passengers. We're going to go ahead, see if we can get this to work. Boarding is requested, so where are they? Always fun. Yeah, I mean, there's folks, but we're not seeing anybody. I mean, there should be a... Alright, so I guess we're gonna say no. Alright, we're not gonna see passengers visually, so what does that mean? Alright, but at least we're loading now. Alright, 10 of 120, there we go. Alright, and it's getting that in first officer, so you can see 10 of 120 loaded, so that's kind of my interface that's off on the side. We'll get our radio dialed in, 121.9er. We want to get the squawk in. Whoops. I think it's 4. So it's 3, 5. Let's see if I have this right. I do. All right. I just get that so screwed up. All right. So 3523. So that is our assigned transponder. We've got that dialed in, and we're good. And obviously we're waiting. It's telling us.
Tower on 118.4. Have a good evening. Tango Juliet Sierra.
So I'm gonna try to get out of here. Hopefully not too long. But so yeah, this gives us a more realistic flow. Also make sure we don't miss anything. So the thing I haven't done with this add-on yet is try to use it with self-loading cargo, along with everything else, because it just seems like there's just a lot happening. And so it's always a bit tricky. Now, wow, we got to 70 of 120, but that's like where we sit. I don't understand. And maybe it was, maybe the bus or whatever it is was kind of, that's all it could take. So that's why it's simulating that, where now we need to get another one coming in here. Let me get, you know, what I need to worry about set. So we'll get back to legs.
WestJet 262, request push and start clearance.
WestJet 262, cleared for push and start.
Push back and start approved. WestJet 262.
All right, and we're obviously not doing that yet because we don't have passengers on, so, or
WestJet
everything
230,
loaded.
request push and start clearance.
There, oh goodness, baggage is 17%. Are you serious?
Push back and start approved. WestJet 230.
This is pretty crazy slow. So, yeah, I guess we'll use the time here. Let me go take a peek. I'm going to look at my schedule over on the side. So yes, we've got this flight. So yeah, we've got 4 flights. So the 1400, the return flight will be 1401, and then we've got a couple more, which is interesting because we're doing them from a totally different location. We're still going to Calgary, but like we're not,
WestJet 262, ready to taxi.
we're not taking a
WestJet
plane
262,
there.
runway 17 left,
But I
taxi via Golf,
suppose
Juliet,
again,
Delta, Victor.
it just needs us to show
Runway
up
17
there.
left, taxi
So
via Golf, Juliet, Delta, Victor, WestJet 262.
so how we
WestJet
get there
2246, request
doesn't
pushback.
matter.
WestJet 2246, pushback approved.
Push back and start approved. WestJet 2246.
Now we should have, and again, you've got the some WestJets there. It could be those planes, but in theory, again, this is say intentions living world at this point. That's kind of my default, that I just run with that on. So yeah, it could be like any of these that are going to be approved, but in theory, the calls we're getting should be from planes here in the airport. All right, 50% loaded. So,
WestJet 230, ready to taxi. WestJet 230, runway 17 left, taxi via Echo Delta, Victor.
all right, so I'm
Runway
assuming,
17 left, taxi via Echo Delta, Victor, WestJet 230.
again, that's, I'm thinking him starting to move, and but I don't know offhand where the runways are, but, and I've seen like planes then vanish at times, like they'll go somewhere and then
WestJet
they'll
2246,
disappear.
ready to taxi.
WestJet 2246, runway 17 left, taxi via Echo Delta, Victor.
Interesting, everyone's got 17, but we're being given
Runway
11.
17 left, taxi via Echo Delta, Victor, WestJet 2246.
Okay, so I guess that's him. But, you know, this way you've got planes moving around, and you've kind of got a lively airport happening. So obviously they should see each other, stay out of each other's way. I wish we were getting more passengers. It's concerning me a bit here that all we're seeing is luggage, but maybe they have to get to a certain point. Just sometimes GSX is so odd. So yeah, the challenge too with self-loading cargo is there are messages in Flight Simulator First Officer that you'll hear, where they'll call back, you'll hear the crew, you'll do other things. So I basically have two apps that would be doing similar things and kind of potentially stepping on each other. That's an interesting thing with these WestJet planes. Because I would have thought that he would have followed them, but maybe not. Alright, 83%. Still no other passengers. It's like if it doesn't happen, it's concerning, like what do we do if it doesn't finish up? And I know there are a bunch of folks I've seen on YouTube that have abandoned. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's bad. Are they just gonna go through each other? Or maybe... Oh, okay. Now he vanished. Interesting. I don't know who seems to be landing or whatever. I mean, there's a plane there, but I don't know. We might be hearing them. Alright, well, it says boarding complete. So that's interesting. Let's see. What does it tell us? It does say boarding completed, but that is not what is happening within First Officer. Alright, so anyway, let's call Calgary Ground, Arctic 1400, requesting push and start at Gate Bravo 37.
Arctic 1400, push and start approved. Face southwest.
Face southwest, Arctic 1400. Alright, well, we might be able to just kind of... It's not like it has to do it, but yeah, we'll just do prepare for pushback.
WestJet 2390, request push and start. WestJet 2390, cleared for push and start.
So we're going to do the before start flow, and...
WestJet 2390.
Okay. Well, we know it won't work, so we'll try to skip that. Jetway completed.
Golf Tango Juliet Sierra, contact tower on 118.4.
Over to tower 118.4. Have a great day, Tango Juliet Sierra.
In order to push back on time, all passengers must be seated with your seatbelts fastened. All luggage must be stored in the overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. The cabin crew will be passing through to make their final safety checks.
Alright, so it's trying to start up the APU, so that is working. So that's good. Alright, we're ready for pushback. Now again, if I'm going to go southwest, my tail should go to the right. So when it does ask me that, should be
WestJet
okay.
2390, ready to taxi.
WestJet 2390,
Right.
runway
So
11,
sometimes
taxi
it's
via
an
Golf, Juliet,
experiment
cross runway
to
17
see
right, then
what
Alpha,
you can
cross runway
get to
11,
work,
then Alpha 1, whiskey.
especially with all the add-ons together. There's
Runway
just a
11
lot
taxi via Golf
happening.
Juliet, cross runway 17 right,
All right.
then Alpha, cross
Getting
runway
fuel
11, then
pumps
Alpha 1,
going.
Whiskey WestJet 2390.
So you can see we have hopefully enough fuel. Alright, packs are completed. It's going ahead and doing all the stuff. Alright, so it's waiting for the GPU to disconnect. Why do we not have the cargo doors? Let's see. Interesting.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door.
Closed and locked.
Fuel 15905 pounds.
Now where are...
Checked.
Passenger signs.
On.
MCP. Speed 130. Heading.
Okay, so it's telling me they're departing.
7000.
Set.
Takeoff
Yeah,
speed.
I don't know.
B1 144. BR 148. B2 153.
Checked.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
Free and zero.
Anti-collision lights.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
Okay. So we've got all that. Now I should be able to, again, go back here to legs. We can release the parking brake. And are we released? Always tricky. All right. All right, so they're commencing push.
WestJet 2390, give way to the company 737 on your left.
Giving way to the company 737.
And again,
WestJet
it's set
2390.
RTO. It should have set our barometer. Let's see, up to 9 or 9 or 8. So, and he's going ahead and trying to get the engine started. So, hopefully, things will be good. Yeah, things are spinning up. Again, it's waiting, you know, it gives you 41 seconds, which is longer than we need. But we can basically...
Summit 8154, contact apron on
move that a bit.
for gate assignment.
Starting engine 1.
I contacted them and they told me to contact you for gate assignment.
Facing
This is Summit 8154.
Engine 2 cut out.
ready for push and start.
WestJet 2246, contact tower on 118.4.
Calgary ground. Arctic 1400. Requesting pushback and engine start at gate Bravo 37.
Arctic 1400, pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest.
And we're getting this there. Let's make sure I think we're looking correct. Alright, we can trigger that. And there he...
Engine 1 started.
Alright.
All engines stable. Engine 1 cut out.
Okay. So we just need to tell GSX that things are good. And then they'll disconnect. So we're getting lowered down, unlocking the gear. But hopefully everything will work. Because yeah, it's just it's challenging. You know, again, I'm trying to include enough things that these are fun videos where there's, you know, a lot going on and whatever, but sometimes it's just simpler, hop in the plane and fly and just ignore everything, but then you don't have, you know, kind of immersion like we have with the ATC and all that.
Tower, WestJet 230.
Alright. So... Calgary ground, Arctic 1400, request taxi.
Arctic 1400, runway 11 taxi via Golf, Juliet, cross runway 17 right at your discretion.
Runway 11, taxi via Golf, Juliet, cross runway 17 at my discretion. Arctic 1400. Alright, and we need a tower, which is 1184, so we're going to get that dialed in. And it's 118400, so that should be accurate. 118400. Because again, the pilot or the co-pilot will take care of like getting everything set and ready to go. We want the before taxi flow. So they're setting again all the
WestJet
switches.
408, request pushback.
Kind of getting everything flipped. So
Pushback approved, WestJet 408.
So they're getting the engines to continuous, those type of things. Trims in the green, that's the one thing we need to worry about. He's setting the flaps, you can see that going on, so those will start moving. He's going to get the transponders set, which he's done.
Clear on the right.
Face southwest,
Clear on
Danish
the
104. Calgary
Before
ground,
taxi
Danish
checklist.
104 is ready for
Generators.
taxi.
On.
Probe heat.
Auto.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Auto brakes.
Rejected takeoff.
Flight control test. Full left.
So
Neutral.
now you can see, well, you can't see because I'm in here, but let's see if we can look there. So I'm actually moving
Full
them.
right. Neutral.
Oh, well, it's not.
Full back.
I don't know why it's not showing.
Full forward.
Interesting. Okay.
Checked.
Brake test.
Right, so for the brake test, we have to turn the brake off, move a bit, and then brake. So we'll spool up the engines. And once we get moving, then we're just basically verifying that we can... There we go.
Checked.
Before taxi checklist completed.
Alright. So now we can taxi.
WestJet 408, ready to taxi.
WestJet 408, runway 11 taxi via Bravo Charlie, Bravo Juliet, cross runway 17 right, then Alpha, cross runway 11, then Alpha 1 Whiskey.
Holy taxi.
Runway 11 taxi via Bravo Charlie, Bravo Juliet, cross runway 17 right, then Alpha, cross runway 11, then Alpha 1,
From
Whiskey
the flight
WestJet
deck, we wanted to
408.
welcome you on board, and thank you for flying with us this morning. We're anticipating a relatively smooth ride, with the exception of a few bumps on the way out. We'll be airborne soon.
So, the typical problems with Flight Simulator, you've got, you know, traffic here, there, whatever. So hopefully it's giving us some good directions, but this is Golf. We have to Golf, Juliet, cross runway 17 at our discretion. I assume this is Juliet. Yep, you can see it in the center of the board there. Just things kind of vanish quickly, so. Alright, now here's 17 coming up. So, whoops. I don't see anything too crazy, so we're gonna assume we're okay. Back off a little bit more on the engines. Might be too much, but we'll see. But yeah, I think we're okay for crossing, and it's interesting because it's 17 right. But yeah, they just did send someone else to 11, I guess, so I suppose that's good. But we're obviously across. And if I see this right, we basically are taking kind of a little roundabout loop
Contact tower on 118.4.
here
Over to tower, WestJet 2256.
to get to the runway. We're going to turn here a bit, but this is all part of the same taxiway. and then we go up and basically get cycled around. So I haven't had say intentions know that I've been like at a runway in a long
Alpha
time.
Bravo, Alpha, cross 17 right, then Charlie, Tango Juliet Sierra.
So we'll see if it gets
Alpha
better
Bravo,
here.
Alpha,
I haven't
cross
flown out of a
17 right,
big
then
airport
Charlie,
in a
Tango
while.
Juliet Sierra.
Like Fort McKay is tricky because it's pretty small, but so a little hazy this morning. Obviously, we can't see very far outside the airport boundary. All right.
Approaching runway 1.
Now this is first officer for flight simulator. First officer. It's not say intentions. Alright, so we're going to do the before takeoff flow. So, again, it's going to be setting some lights, getting all that done, getting the packs adjusted, traffic button, terrain. Alright, and we didn't get to tower. Calgary Tower, Arctic 1400, holding short runway 11, ready for takeoff. Anybody around behind us? Nope.
Arctic 1400, Calgary Tower, runway 11, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 11 cleared for takeoff. Walker, I'm sorry, Arctic 1400. Old habits die hard. Not that they need to. I'm still doing plenty of Walker, but... Alright, so let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Flaps. Sit. Stabilization trim.
Sit.
Transponder.
Sit.
Cabin crew. Cabin crew prepared for takeoff.
Notified.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Alright, and then the next thing we have is after takeoff flow, so we'll break ourselves off there. There we go. Alright, so let's go. And again, like he should get everything set for us. I just want to make sure 7,000. But yeah, normally I'd like turn on VNAV, LNAV, I'd have all that ready to go. You can see the flight director's on, the auto throttle's on, you know, the things we'd expect. But we don't have some of the other items because he'll handle that. So we're taking off kind of more east-west than we are north-south. But we need to fly north, basically. So Avram is north of us. Yeah, but you can see we're in essence like backward from the line that it would like us to take. So, because it also thinks we're taking off. I didn't update my flight computer because we're using vectors to get to Avram anyway. But, you know, and I assume 1-1 is a little shorter. But we should be fine. So we're going to get going.
Thrust set.
Checked.
Departure on 119, 8 Tango Juliet Sierra.
Speed alive.
Checked.
WestJet 135, contact departure.
Contacting departure, WestJet 135.
80 knots.
Checked.
Nice and smooth today. I like it.
V1. Rotate.
This was like a really long takeoff roll, it seemed.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Alright, so he's gonna do the
Gear
gear.
up.
Like, he's gonna do all that. There's runway 17. think, or a different runway. Alright, I'm going.
400 feet.
Lateral navigation.
Now you can see he turns
Go
on
now on.
LNAV.
Vertical navigation.
VNAV on.
Arctic 1400,
Flaps up.
contact departure. WestJet 408, hold short of runway 17 right.
Holding short of runway
Flaps up.
17 right, WestJet 408.
Right,
Acceleration altitude.
we're still flying.
Autopilot.
So now there we
Command
go.
A on.
There we go. So I let go of the control. But that's the sequence we should make. That makes it so much easier with this. So, alright. So now we can do after takeoff flow. So he's going to set the engine start switches, get the auto brakes set, save and putting the gear in safe, and
After takeoff checklist. Engine start switches.
Off.
Packs.
On.
Auto brakes.
Off.
Landing gear.
Up and off.
Flaps.
Cross 17 right, WestJet
Oh.
408.
After takeoff checklist completed.
Arctic 1400, departure with you.
Arctic 1400, Calgary departure, radar contact. Climb flight level 180, turn left heading 340, vectors to Avram, then is filed.
Climb flight level 180, turn left heading 340, vectors to Avram, then as filed. Arctic 1400. Alright, so we're going to do level change. We want this here. So you can see, there we
Arctic
go.
1400, climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Arctic 1400.
Watch airspeed.
Alright, so he's warning me because we are kind of getting up there where we'd, prefer not to be quite that high. But obviously, again, that was partially because we're going into a climb. But, there's the airport. So you can see the, landing lights and all that, but nice clear day here. So that's partially where I'm going to do what I can to try to get these lights taken care of. And then, as I said, I think I'm going to try to get a little bit more reasonable location in the world for the next airline that we work with. Because when I started this, it was winter and it was pretty rough. Right, so at this point,
Passing 10,000 feet.
yeah, so now he's going to turn the lights off. So you can see that there. And,
The captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. You're free to get up and use the lavatories. However, we ask that you do not form a line at the front of the aircraft.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fly at this point, and I am going to see you on the other end. So I'll see you in a bit.
All right, you're in charge of the
Edmonton
comms
Center,
now.
Delta 143, flight level 380.
Hey everyone, we
Delta
are
143,
back.
radar contact.
So we're getting close. Let's just see. 41 nautical miles, so looks like 6 minutes till descent is when we should see that.
Arctic 1400, descend altitude 13,000.
Descend altitude 13,000, Arctic 1400. Now, again, I'm not going to do that anytime soon, because the other thing they have done is they have changed our approach. Oh, that's too zoomed out. But you can see there's top of descent. But they're bringing us in on 1-3 instead of 3-1. So I've adjusted, but that means we're circling around to the north of the airport. I think that's the way we've come in many times before. So it shouldn't be, I apologize, we're staring at the cockpit. I'm like looking at something else on a tablet and didn't realize that. But yeah, we're coming in a longer way. But yeah, a good long flight.
Arctic 1400, descend altitude 4000.
Descend altitude 4000, Arctic 1400. Alright, well. And again, this is a non-towered airport, so it's just basically going to give us clearance to land. So yeah, I'm not quite sure as far as what the next goal would be. This is a 2-star airline. I've had, I continue to get job offers because that's what a pilot's life does. But I've gotten offers from 3-star airlines. I don't know that I've gotten any from any 4-star airlines. Now, the thing this does help with the first officer, oh, speaking of, I did check during the break. I did use it in my June video. So, Flight Simulator First Officer is not new to the series. I think I actually introduced it here to the series. Now, one other thing I am doing, and I'm sure some of you will be like, what? What do you mean you're just fine? I'm trying to get back into using Volanta. I tried it for a while in spring, summer of 2024. So it has been a year. But because I'm doing more stuff with the VAs, and that's really the only backup that's allowed. Like if somehow the filing doesn't happen, the PIREP doesn't get filed automatically by the system, I can't do anything then without it. But I swear it gave me problems before. But I don't know that I gave it much of an effort because, again, I have like little nav map. I have other things that were doing some things, but I don't think you can submit from that to show you did something. Now, again, I don't know exactly like if Volanta will let you export the flight to do a manual PIREP or whatever. But so I'm doing that. I was trying to figure out if, like in NavMap or Navigraph or whatever, it will follow the flight, meaning it'll kind of move the map as you go. I've Googled it too. It does not appear it does that. It looks like it's a manual thing to kind of just move your map, or obviously scroll out enough that you can see your entire flight as you're going. So yeah, it doesn't appear it does that, and it's obviously a little bit annoying, but once again, it's flight tracking. It's not meant to really be used for a lot of other things. So, but yeah, we've got top of descent. It looks like 5 miles at this point. Looking at my flight officer, or flight simulator first officer. Always get those kind of mixed up. But yeah, we're sorry I'm having to cut things out. Now hopefully I'm doing that and I'm not leaving coughing and sneezing in, but man, I suddenly got like a fit of both, which is a little weird, but it is what it is. But I've still got a good ways to go, but just because, there's things happening, there's definitely information flowing. But there we go. We're starting to descend. It's not yelling at me, so I guess that's a good thing.
Descend and maintain 6,000. Salty cheese is entered.
Center maintain 6,000, Arctic 1420.
But yeah, I think people who have done flight sim will be like, what do you mean you're having trouble? Like, Volanta, I guess, is kind of the go-to thing. And I don't know, I'm assuming everything I'm seeing in here are flights that are being tracked that way. But, there's a lot of planes on the map, is what I'm getting at. They're everywhere. So... And yeah, there's some people, premium members, non-premium members, you know, yeah, I'm not paying, I'm just using the free, which I think most people are, but don't know. But yeah, we're, 70 miles, but keep in mind we're going to pass the airport and come back in, but we're obviously going down, and again, this first officer does a good job of adjusting things. Like they'll change the transition altitude. I mean, it definitely helps and just lets you focus on the things the pilot would do. You wouldn't have to do all the stuff on your own normally, especially in a commercial airliner like this. You're absolutely going to have a first officer with you. So, because some people might be like, well, that's not, you're not really doing, you're not flight simming. Well, okay. It's my version, I guess, and the nice thing with any sims is we can all do our own versions and enjoy what we enjoy. And, again, hopefully people enjoy pieces of things and follow us, and, that's why there's different things that different people like. So, but yeah, I'm definitely leaning toward, I got so much flight sim stuff I'd love to get to. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I start to spread a few more things out on the channel, and I think what that'll turn into, I don't know that I want to throw like more than the 2 videos out per day, because as it is, like, nothing gets a lot of views. I mean, that's the thing. If I had some things that were doing a lot, now I will say I have been surprised. Other than like map reviews, my farming simulator videos honestly are pretty low watch. So while I like to think that people are interested in that, and that might be why there's subscribers that were peeling off at one point from the last couple weeks, I don't know what it is, because people aren't, giving any kind of feedback. So it gets a little frustrating, but I was surprised that, it does seem actually the golf videos are, on average, doing better than anything else. So it's like the folks that want to see that. And then the flight sim videos are next. And the truck sim and the farm sim are pretty low. Which might, it could make a little bit of sense in my head, I guess, because I think both farm sim and truck sim are a little more niche type of tastes and smaller groups that see those. But yeah, I've got a lot of videos sitting in the pipeline ready to be published. Like right now, because I don't want to repeat the thing I did with Parcel Simulator, where suddenly I forgot I had marked them as private, and then because I had basically edited everything, given them names, this, that, and whatever, I then skipped them over and forgot, and then had to dump 4 or 5 videos all at once to fill the gap. I've spread things out. I'm sitting here flying this in the first week of September, and based on Power Wash Simulator and Parcel Simulator videos only, I'm out into like mid-October with stuff. And obviously, and that's that is if all you saw on the channel, other than my Walker series, for NASCAR. And then, the Truck Sim series. But, so then you'd see just Golf Truck Sim, Walker Flight, and Parcel Simulator, and Power Wash Simulator. Like,
Arctic 1400,
we'd be
descend
good.
altitude 3000, altimeter 29907.
Descend altitude 3000, altimeter 29907. Arctic 1400. Right, so yeah, the short answer is there's just too much to do. Too much I'd love to get into, and just sharing it with folks is getting more and more difficult. In a timely way that doesn't make people feel like, there's only this, there's only that, but I need to spread out the Parcel Simulator ones, because again, I think I just put out episode 10 or 11, but basically I have, I think 25 or maybe, I think it's probably 24, 25 of those. And then I'm going up to episode 30 in Power Wash Simulator. Now, the good thing with Power Wash Simulator is I think I just, scheduled or just had like episode 24 show up. So it's not like, ooh, I've dumped a bunch of stuff, but like there's ideas I have for Parcel Simulator that I want to try. But I feel like I'm so backed up with things, then I'm trying to dedicate time to others, and it's an interesting problem.
Arctic 1400, contact Edmonton approach on 133.725.
Contact Edmonton approach, Arctic 1400. Right, now I'm surprised that he didn't transition. Now I suppose I didn't do the descent flow. That doesn't help, so let me do that. So he should be getting in landing data and all that.
Arctic 1400, contact Edmonton approach on 132.7.
Guess I should do that. Edmonton approach, Arctic 1400, descending 13,000 feet. Alright, so he's going through, getting things in. Engine start switches. Now, I don't think they set auto brakes. So yeah, I'm gonna crank that up because I know it's a short approach. Now again, this is where we would have, on the old approach, we would be turning and coming in to come in via 3-1, and we'd have
checklist. Pressurization.
Not much left, but
Set.
Recall.
Checked.
Auto brakes.
Set.
Landing data. 131. Minimums. 200.
Approach briefing. We're expecting the ILS approach for runway 31. The minimum altitude is 200 feet. We'll use manual braking. We can expect to park at gate. In case of go around, we'll climb per ATC instructions on the runway heading. Any questions?
I'm good.
Completed.
Descent checklist completed.
In preparation
Transition
for landing,
altitude.
the captain has turned on the seatbelt
From the
sign.
flight deck,
Please
we've
return
started
to
our
your seat
descent.
and fasten your
Expect to
seatbelt.
arrive to the gate in 20 to 25 minutes. It's been a pleasure having you on board
yeah,
with us today.
I did this too late.
On a future flight.
Because obviously we're at 10,000 already, so now he's gonna start doing some of that.
We have reached an altitude that requires all electronics to be turned off and stowed for landing. You may continue to use your handheld phones and tablets in airplane mode. Thank you.
So, all these messages, like all that cabin stuff, is first flight simulator, first officer. Man, I get it wrong, like, constantly. Alright, so I'd say we're on approach.
Arrow reference. 2-9er-9er-6.
Checked.
Approach checklist completed.
Alright, now it says 6, so we'll change that.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Alright, So turning on the lights. See, but it's these changes, the switch flips and stuff, that I tend to miss because there's a lot going on when I'm manually doing it. But once again, in a commercial airliner, like, you'd not be doing it. It's one thing being in a small plane where, maybe it is just you as a pilot, like a Cessna. But, for a commercial airliner, like, there's other things happening. But yeah, my concern that I've been thinking about again as we were kind of cruising in between and I was just waiting to come back online is it's going to start snowing up here in Canada soon. And if I'm doing live weather and stuff, like, I potentially have a problem. So it's like, do I try to hammer out the 3 remaining legs quickly, meaning in the next month at most, so then I'm, trying to wrap it up in September, let's say, and it honestly feels like I need to do that to really have any opportunity to not suddenly be trying to fly in snowstorms like we were in our first episodes, which was nerve-wracking and irritating. Again, it might have made for entertaining YouTube content for the 20 people that watch the video. Like I said, I mean, that's part of my challenge is I'm trying to act as if I have a really active channel, but I don't yet have a really active channel, and I'm kind of like feeling, well, if I act quote-unquote professionally, or kind of what people would expect or want a little bit, that'll draw audience. But clearly, that's not how the YouTube world works. I just start to feel a little bit more like it's luck and kind of, getting seen by the right group, maybe getting shared by someone who's got high views already, and then people are like, oh yeah, this guy's worth checking out. And my biggest problem with anything, because I did have a VA, for example, that just put out a survey about, hey, we want more people in our group flights. We're not getting a lot of people, and, here's this poll. And I explained in there, it's the reality of my life. It's hard to commit to certain times and whatever, because, I'm an adult. I've got adult responsibilities and things come up, and at the end of the day, I keep this kind of where it is supposed to be, which is it's an entertainment, and it's something I do for that. It's not life. I'm not striving to make a living off of this or whatever. Again, if it were to come together and it were to happen, and I had enough views, for example, yeah, I'd enjoy doing it, but I still think it would change the nature of how I do it. I mean, I'm already pressuring myself a bit of, hey, I need to stay ahead of things, make sure there's enough golf content, stuff like that. Rather than just, hey, when a video comes out, a video comes out. But I can't say that over the time, it hasn't gotten...
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
A little bit more interesting.
Speed brake. Speed brake armed. Landing gear.
Alright, well, I don't want landing gear down yet, so I guess I didn't need to do this checklist yet.
Landing gear.
No landing gear. So we're circling around. We're 12 miles out. We probably should start to...
Landing gear.
Yeah, you're going to keep repeating landing gear because I did this wrong. But we are only 11 miles out here,
Flaps
so...
5. Landing gear.
Alright, so he's going to start slowing down. I'm going to put the landing gear down.
Gear up.
Because that will
Flaps.
slow
Flaps
things
1.
down.
Flaps 1. Gear down.
Why are we at flaps 1? So it's telling me I should
Flaps.
be... Alright, now can I do approach?
Approach mode on.
Okay.
Flaps.
Flaps 5.
Alright, so...
Flaps 5.
And I'm not sure if these are set by
Flaps.
distance.
2,500. Flaps 15.
Because, yeah, it must be a distance
Flaps
type
50.
thing. It might be a elevation. I'm not sure. But, you know, we're definitely...
Flaps.
I assume when he says flaps the second time, that means they're done moving to that point. Alright, so let's get this down, because that's the thing. And again, I guess as the pilot, you'd be doing that.
Flaps.
Flaps? What? Why do you keep saying flaps?
Flaps 25. Set.
Cabin crew. Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
I see, so it had to be...
Notified.
Landing checklist completed. Flaps 30.
Flaps 40.
Alright, so flaps 40, I can be at what? 131? Can't see. Yeah, 131, so that's 136. Then we'll get ourselves down to that. Because what that'll do now, it's going to pull the nose up a little bit to slough up some speed. But then, you know, that kind of impacts our descent a little bit. But we're still, you know, 4 miles out, so it's not terrible. But now we're down to the range we want to be. Oh. I don't know that I ever contacted Edmonton Tower. I did.
Arctic 1400.
Okay, hold on.
Approaching runway 13.
Alright, so let's worry about this. We seem off, I'll tell you that, so I don't understand.
Autopilot.
Okay, so now it's turning that off.
Auto throttle.
Right.
400.
So now we have auto throttle.
300.
And we're, you know, bringing it in. So my concern is I seem a little high. So I don't like that.
Minimums.
Unstable.
What do you mean unstable? How am I unstable? So that's not going to help. I'm going to get a lousy score for that.
30. 20. 10.
That was very smooth. Alright, so the brakes are engaging. You can see the big down arrow, so I'm not pushing manual brakes, because as soon as I do that, the auto brakes stop.
Manual braking.
Alright, so there we go. And so we're all set there, so now we can do the after landing, and then they'll start doing things. So he's going to start turning the lights off, he'll get the flaps up, he'll do, you know, all the other stuff. I never actually turned my engines down, that didn't help. I realized I was at 57 for a while.
And the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. On behalf of our captain and crew, we would like to
trying to stay on the runway, but it's so hard on this.
Hope to see you again soon.
So I really wonder how they do on these. Okay. So we're set there, and then the next thing would be the shutdown flow, which we'll certainly do, but not something we have to do. I'm going to take a quick peek. All right, yeah, 164. So we were in good shape. All right. I don't understand why it stopped so harshly, but... Alright, well, we don't have to get to the gate. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm also going to take a look at my pilot's life tracking, because that's obviously important. But we're going to do the shutdown flow. The flaps are up, all that is good. Okay, so it's trying to power up the APU. And... Alright. Now it's telling me, please remember to submit the flight. So we're going to do that. Okay, we have no jetway connecting, so we're gonna skip the other steps.
We're cleared to switch to advisory frequency 123.3 for taxi instructions to parking. I'll handle the comms once you're ready.
Right. I'm confused. Alright, so it finally said your flight has been submitted. Alright, and it's basically now doing our next one, which is the return flight, which we do have from here, as we said. Alright, so I got a 96. I missed something. Not sure. Let's see. Spoilers. Said they weren't armed. I thought they were. But maybe I did it too late. Oh, and the taxi light off didn't happen.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps.
Well, but I think that's...
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Set.
Flaps.
Up.
Parking brake.
On.
Fuel control switches.
Off.
Weather radar.
Okay. I don't know how to turn the weather radar off here. Guess not.
Weather radar.
Off.
Shutdown checklist completed.
Alright, so taxi field, strobe light penalty, landing lights penalty is what I got from the other thing. But yeah, we are set. In theory, the Volanta thing worked. Said we're the first one to show up here today. But yeah, in general, we're doing okay. And like I said, the real question is, do I turn around and fly? Probably need to get... Yeah, I don't know. I think when I do the next one, I am going to maybe start on the runway, because it's not like there's a place here. I'm not sure. I don't know. Just trying to move along a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and at this point just wrap this up. Hopefully you've enjoyed following along here, and like I said, I'm going to be looking for a warmer weather location. I mean, even if I was in the United States, I'd probably be okay with that. But I'm just not sure. Anyway, I will see you next time.